we're alive. Once we have breath, it means that we have hope and we can do everything by His word. Thanks for joining us this morning. Wherever you are, please know that tomorrow is when the Finance Minister, Ken Oforiatta, will be before the plenary of our own Parliament to read the financial statement and government's own appropriation for the next financial year 2019. And we've been bringing to you the previews, but we'll bring you live the main event. Don't worry, stay with us. We'll bring you all the clues. We'll go to the market. We'll have some great interactions. But Kojo, good morning to you as well.
Hey, Osofo. I heard some by His grace we are healed.
Fantastic.
Message be in the morning.
Charlie, it's by God's grace, you know.
Hallelujah.
Yesterday, when I was going home, a friend of mine, apparently, who was behind me, fell in one of those holes on the motorway.
Oh my
Had
goodness.
his thigh bursting. Nearly got into one of those ditches. Would I call it a ditch?
That is a true concern.
Yeah.
I use a bit of the motorway every day.
So I don't know whether thanking God is good enough, or rather God has given us the intellect for somebody to be responsible for that road and is not taking the action. So when somebody loses a life, is it the devil who did it, or just by our own human inactions that resulted in the death?
I've got to tell you, I mean, for some problems, prayer cannot be the government strategy.
I agree with you.
We already have what it takes to solve some problems. So I worry alongside you, and I'm glad your friend is safe. But this must stop.
Yeah, so we have to live with it in the meantime. But for those of us who trek that road, we hope that something will be done about it.
Yeah.
The Accra Tema motorway. But in the meantime, we'll have some great packages. We want to look at expectations of many of you across the region. So our correspondent in the north as well as elsewhere will be bringing to us what various people in numerous sectors are saying.
That's right.
Of the economy over the last year, and what also they expect as the finance minister reads the budget tomorrow for the next financial year. Look, we'll also be having some interaction with Professor Godfred Bokpin, who is a senior lecturer with the finance department of the University of Ghana Business School. We already know that the minority in Ghana's parliament had also been having their own interaction, predicting that government could introduce new taxes because of what the trend has been. We set targets, and internal revenue collection has not been very good for the last year, so or for this year, so to speak. Kojo?
Indeed, indeed. And we will be able to clarify some of the terms that people use when they are discussing the economy. You hear some people say the financial sector is in recession. Well, today we'll figure out whether that is the case. Recession is a technical term. It refers to a certain state of being. And we'll find out whether our financial sector is in that state, whether there has been negative growth for 2 successive quarters. That is what has to happen in order for you to define it as a recession. So we'll figure it all out together today. But look, we want to know how the banking brouhaha has affected the economy. Farmers are unhappy. Government seems to have failed to address the problems of fall army worm. And we'll be talking about all of that. Look, the devastation of that one parasite alone has had a massive impact on our agricultural sector. And then, of course, we have a wonderful conversation with the British High Commissioner, Ian Walker, on the aftermath of the royal visits. Prince Charles has been here, and it's been quite a memorable one. So we'll talk over some of the highlights and what it means for the relationship between our two countries.
But for those of you who don't know, today is World Diabetes Day, and this year's theme is around how families could care for those of their own who have diabetes. And we all know all the myths and things surrounding the disease, even though it's chronic and people sometimes get out of it. There's a way to manage it in such a way.
Nobody ever gets out of diabetes. Well, there's no cure.
Yeah, not in terms of the cure, but in terms of living a life, ultimately by way of good management and the practices around how we need to live.
Yeah,
and
absolutely right.
Yeah, and so today on the theme, we want to talk about it. For families who have people with diabetes or members with diabetes, how do you care for them in such a way that you guide them and you also tend to play complementary roles alongside themselves to make sure that they could live meaningful lives into old age?
And indeed, if you have a friend with diabetes, you will learn a lot today about how you what you should do to help your friend when it comes to meals, what sort of things he can do, what he can't do, or she can do, she can't do. Or if you're throwing a party, you need to think about these things. There might be diabetics on your guest list who might not want to come and tell you they're diabetic, but you have to make sure that they also have options of healthy things to eat. So we'll talk about all of that.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll wrap up the show with some great entertainment on AM Showbiz. Remember, it's brought to you by Awake Purified Water. Please also make sure that for the next 3 hours you are interacting with us. Facebook, Joy News on TV. We have a Twitter handle at Joy News on TV. Watch us live on My Joy Online TV on YouTube. But also watch our motivation, The Morning Man, Message. And the beat goes on. It's a song, right?
Yes, there's a song called And the Beat Goes On by the Whispers.
Yeah, and I know my stuff.
You do.
Yeah.
And by the way, today's message, And the Beat Goes On, is about somebody you know. Yeah, just listen.